tuned into the A-side on THAAfterparty.com.
Hey y'all, I'm Brea with Grown Folks Talking. Tune in every Wednesday for hot talks with the DFW community while we discuss music, politics, and love every Wednesday at 7 on Side A of the After Party. See you at the party. Thank you so much for tuning in for another week of Grown Folks Talking. I'm Brea, and this is my amazing guest, Diamond of Dyamond Cosmetics. So today we'll be talking all about prepping for Q4 in business if you're an entrepreneur. And Q4 is your last quarter of the year. So that would be obviously, October, November, and December. So we're going to be helping y'all prep for that, giving some really good pointers and tips. But before we get started, we're going to start with our segment, the I Like It segment, which is when we just check in, with what happened this last week, something that we liked or loved. You want to go first?
Yes, so this past week I got to mingle and network with other vendors and entrepreneurs and small business owners. Experiences like that are always, fundamental because you get to learn from others, you get business tips, and I really enjoyed doing that this weekend as well. I also had a lot of sales this week, which was good, so
Ooh.
you can always purchase at diamondcosmetics.com.
I love it. So this week, I got an email yesterday, and it said that I'm accepted to the Forbes The Culture. It's basically the official under 30 community for Forbes, the Forbes network. So I was really excited about that, and I'm excited to see where it takes me in life.
That's amazing. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we can go ahead and get started with this entrepreneur segment. Um, Why do you think focusing on Q4 is important? The fourth quarter.
I think that's important for several reasons. It will allow you to forecast as to what's going to happen for the future of your business. Where's your business going to go at the end of the year? It'll also allow you to kind of just play around with, budgets, numbers, so that you can see, okay, well, I got X amount of dollars here, but I
Mm-hmm.
need X amount of dollars here. So
Mm-hmm.
what can I do as far as sales to generate sales and leads and to get my product and my brand out there?
I love that. So for me, at exact 100% with that. And then also, it's a good chance to end the year strong. Like, it's a good time to take to make sure that you're sticking with your goals that you started with in the beginning of the year. So, in the very beginning of the
Definitely.
year, we had a dream board segment. So, we did our dream board, we made our plans, our goals, our budget, all that. And then, like, obviously, it's later in the year, very ending. So, right now is the time to, first of all, make sure that you, like, accomplish those goals or are on the road to accomplishing those goals, and also getting prepped for 2020.
Correct,
Cause
definitely.
yeah, cause right now it's like you can start while you're working on these last few months. You can start seeing like kind of where you want it to go for next year. That's really important. Cause you don't want to wait until New Year's or that whole New Year, New Me time to
Right.
start prepping. For 2020. Now is a good time to start thinking about that for sure.
Definitely. You will always want to forecast ahead. You always want to
Mhm.
think ahead because you may want to come out with a new product, a uh new something for your business. So you definitely want to be looking ahead to see what's out there. And also, you also want to look ahead because you want to see what's trending.
Oh, that's true.
What is the forecast going to be like for 2020? What are other
Mhm.
businesses going to do? What are my competitors going to do for 2020 and how can I stay in trend?
That's true. Have you started your Q4 prepping?
I have. I have.
Yeah.
I started last month actually
Oh.
trying to figure out, where do I want to take my business? Where do I want it to grow?
Mhm.
So I've sat down and I have a team and a support system that helps me. So we've
Mhm.
also sat down and said, okay, we want to do this for the upcoming year. And how can we do that? How
Mhm.
can we make these things happen? Let's look into other vendors. Let's look into, what
Mhm.
influencers haven't we worked with yet? What's our new marketing team? Always try to see, what strategies work and what don't work. Because sometimes stuff don't work. You have to go back to the
Mhm.
drawing board, but you have to remember, just because it didn't work for you, use that as a lesson so that you can do things differently the next time.
Mhm.
You can say, well, last year I did XYZ and that sure didn't work. So now
I'm
going
gonna do
forward
this.
in 2020, I'm going to do
Mhm.
this differently. And, never be afraid to ask for help.
Right. I have such a problem with that. But I've started my Q4 planning, but I started with my budget. I started with my budget last month, and then I started like more in-depth Q4 planning, like as far as the sales I'm going to be doing for my businesses, and as far as like the events I'm going to be going to slash hosting, doing all those kinds of
Mm,
things. But the budget was the number one thing because I can't sit here and pretend like bills don't come before that, you know?
exactly,
So it's like
exactly.
I got all my bills together, like budgeted for that, and then I got my budget for the all of my businesses, with that, and then I plan for like the goals and everything for that for the Q4.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
a good idea because you have to budget. That's always the
Mhm.
first thing you have to do. You have to know, okay, well, if I have this bill over here, well, I need to sell XYZ amount of
Mhm.
products, in order to pay this bill and to
Mhm.
also, introduce new products because you want to, as I said, stay with the trends, keep the
Yeah.
momentum and stuff going.
Another thing, like with the trends for the end of the year, I started planning for it. So I have the nanny agency. So I know, like at the end of the year, parents aren't going to be needing a nanny as much. So I
Right.
take the back burner on that one during this fall season. And then for like the cookware, I'm focusing more on that right now just because that's when you get your gifts for your family,
Mhm.
that's when you like have
Cook for the
family, exactly,
holidays.
have family over. You want your nice ceramic plates at that point. So that's why I focus more on those. And you got to be more strategic with it. And I think when you Q4 plan for like Black Friday sales, which we'll get more into that
Mhm.
later. So when you plan for those Black Friday, Thanksgiving, you got to think about it. These upcoming months, this Q4, these are about to be the real money makers.
Yes,
Like
most
for
definitely.
real.
Holiday season is coming, so
Mhm.
that's definitely going to be huge.
Yup. Strategy is just about chess, not checkers.
I love it. I love it. Nipsey Hussle, I love it.
Exactly. That and another Nipsey Hussle thing that I added in too for today's show. You At the end of the year, I know a lot of people like, "Oh, I met my goals." Like if you met your goals at this point and like you have to be super 100% realistic with yourself. If you
Mhm.
have met your goals, that's great. Go ahead and hit that victory lap. Go
Yes.
ahead and like
Yes.
triple your money, double your money, make more money than what you planned on doing it. Instead of being stagnant, like, oh, I hit my goal already. I can chill out at this point.
Nope.
No,
Nope. Nope. No,
not at
ma'am.
all. Go ahead, triple that money. Um, Go ahead and make another strategy for how you're gonna make even more money. Because obviously you can do it.
Right.
You
You
did
if
it.
you've done it this far, keep it going.
You
And
could do
remember,
it.
it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you
That's
want to
another
keep it,
one.
yes, you want to keep it going. You have to remember you in it for the long game. Well, I
hmm
hope you are, because I know I am.
Yeah, I feel like that's one thing to hit too. If you're an entrepreneur, you got to make sure you remember you're in it for the long game. So
Yes.
that's gonna take like different kinds of strides and strategy.
Right. Because you have to plan ahead. You have to say to yourself, well, where do I want my business to go in the next 2 years, the next 5 years, the
Mhm.
next 10 years, and how can I get there? Forecast it out.
Mhm.
Write it down. A lot of people say, oh, I'll do it later. No, buy a spiral, buy a journal.
Mhm.
Type it on your phone. Do whatever you gotta do so that you can remember that I've set these goals,
Mhm.
and this is how I can achieve this long term, this longevity, success.
Do you use planners and notebooks? I know you use because you always
Yes,
have a
yes.
notebook with
I
you.
always have a notebook with
Always.
me. I'm always writing down. I don't really use my phone because I want to see it.
Mhm.
Pen to paper. So I'm always got something I'm writing with.
For me, I always use a planner, and then I also have me and my boyfriend. We have a budget wall. So
Oh, that's a
like
good
we have a
idea.
budget wall, and then we have a goal wall. So on the budget wall, it's like typed out and it's written because I think it's really important to write things down. It's called scripting. When you
Mhm.
write it out and you know exactly your intentions, and for me, I write it out like weekly because it may change,
Right.
but like I feel like when you write it out, it's more intentional. But so we have like a goal wall, like, and we put our goals on there, and then there's also a budget wall to where the budget for the different months. So right now we have Q4, so the different budgets for Q4 are all on the wall, and like every time you get up and look at it, you're more intentional,
Right.
and like every day in everything you do, every time you walk by that, you see it. So
Yes,
yeah,
definitely. It
that's one of
makes
the things
you
we do.
It makes you work harder because I set goals for my business. I say I want to make X amount of dollars this month. So
Mhm.
that makes me work harder. I
Mhm.
get up and go to vendor events. I personally myself DM people that I know or don't know and
Mhm.
tell them about my business because, Instagram and Facebook's new algorithm, it's hurting businesses.
Mhm.
So you have to make that extra, effort. You can no longer just post things on Instagram and say, ooh, and generate sales. You have to actually put forth an
Mhm.
effort. You have to post daily. You have to DM people. You have to let people know that, hey, I'm out here. Hey, I'm
Mhm.
present. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I got you on the lipstick, on the lip gloss. I actually sell it for cheaper, than other stores and things like that. And it's a great quality product. So let people
Mhm.
know what's going on and what they'll be missing out on
Mhm.
if they don't purchase it.
Oh,
So
speaking
that's
of, sorry to interrupt. I finally got my Diamond Cosmetic lipstick. Hopefully you can see it. I got it in the color Gold Digger, and I am absolutely in love with it. Like she said, it's a really good product. And also, I do want to add is vegan, which is amazing. I know y'all love that.
yes.
And then it has a ton of shades. And then on my skin color, it's really hard to find like purpley fall colors that I actually like that look good with me. And I really think she did it with this one. What y'all think? It's cute, right?
It looks good on you, girl.
But she does have a sale going on. What is the code?
The code is lipstick. If you enter the code lipstick on my website, you will get 10% off.
10% off. And it's already a really good price. And look at this really cute little, look at it. That's cute. I love my lipstick. But yes, so back to the entrepreneur talk.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. But I do love this. And this is another thing that y'all should think about. Is different ways to make money. Don't just stay on one. And then especially with the seasons.
Yes, oh, it's definitely, always have multiple streams of income. I think we
Mhm.
touched on that at the last podcast, how important it is to always have several streams of income, have
Mhm.
multiple businesses, things going on, multiple
Yep.
passions
You know,
that,
one thing I read, it was because I'm huge on the multiple streams of income, but I read somewhere and it's like, although you do need to have multiple streams of income, you definitely need to focus and get like one at a time off the ground.
yes,
Because you'll be running
yes.
around with like a chicken with your head cut off if you try to do 1,000 things at once. And I definitely I was a chicken with my head cut off at one point because I was trying to do 1,000 things. But yeah, that's another key.
Another good tip. You definitely want to do one thing at a time. Then once you master that, you want to be a master of your craft. So once you master
Hmm.
that and conquer that, then you move on to the next.
What is it? A jack of all, master of
All
all?
trades,
Yeah,
something like that. I think so.
something like that.
Yeah.
So, what else do you have planned for Q4?
um, I am also making a plan.
Ooh.
I have to make a plan to, what do I want to achieve? What do I want this last quarter to look like?
Mhm.
And how do I get there? And if I can't do it on my own, who can help me do it?
Mhm.
It can be as little as, making flyers, advertising,
Mhm.
marketing, you know, what else can I do to get my business out there? What vendor events are going on in my local area? You
You
know,
know, you're right about that. Actually, I had a talk with boss. Well, she had a talk with me. Boss lady had a talk with me, and she was like, basically, it's okay to do like, it's good to do like obviously the social media, but it's also important to go out in like different events and things like that. So make sure you're not only doing social media and in your group or your circle, you also have to make sure that you're going out in one the community that you're in. That's like everyone, and also in the whatever community you're in. So like whether it's influencer community, whether you do music like the other musicians in your town, like other Dallas artists, if you're here in Dallas, Cali, other Cali artists, like make sure you know the circle and the circle knows you,
right?
right?
You
Yeah,
definitely. That's a good one.
yeah.
Make sure you're known and not only in your local area but worldwide.
Ooh, speaking of worldwide, well, I could say countrywide.
Yes.
We're doing the APOC connection. It's going to be October 4th, 5th, October 5th, and we're going to be in North Carolina. I am really excited about that too. It's going to be my first time doing a live podcast out of state, so make sure y'all check it out. It'll be live on the After Party Radio. So
Ooh,
watch it.
I will definitely be
Stay
tuning in.
tuned.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Shout outs to the boss lady for making it happen as she always does. Right? Okay.
So another way that I, level up with my business, or I also make sure I put the plan into action.
Mm.
Just because I
I didn't
make a
mean to
plan,
laugh. I have that bad. Like,
I cannot with you.
and I think you know the way I laugh. Like, I have that so bad. Like, I want to do 1,000 things,
Right.
and like,
I do
but
too.
when it comes to actually doing it, I'll be like, look, I didn't work 8 hours today. I didn't got cussed out 6 different times from clients. I don't know if I feel like it today. And you can picture the SpongeBob meme, or
Oh,
that episode where he
yeah.
was talking to Patrick or Plankton. He was like, I don't really feel like doing that. That's my vibe sometimes.
And that's okay. You don't have to do it every single day. Sometimes you need a mental health day where you can just
Mhm.
sit down at home, relax, and not think about work or think about your side hustle or your businesses. So it's okay not to, do it every day, but you make sure though, when you write it down, you make sure that you get it done though.
Yeah, one thing that helps me is when I like kind of dissect the big plan. So like
Yes.
one of my big plans was, let me see. To win the after party award last year. So like I had to dissect it into smaller plans, and I actually won. Shout out to me. But you had
Congrats.
like I had to dissect it into like, okay, this week I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna talk to these people. I'm gonna mention that I need votes for this, and then this
Mhm.
week I'm gonna do this. So
Right.
like I broke it down to smaller goals or
Yeah.
just things on, not even goals, things on the checklist, not even goals, because that sounds, not that it sounds scary, but it's like, what is it? Is this, I don't know, it can be nerve wracking. So like
It,
it's
it
just,
definitely can be because you can feel like, how, oh man, how am I going to achieve that?
mhm,
And you look at people on social media and you feel like, well, dang, they're at where I want to be. But
mhm.
I just wrote the goal down. I don't even know
It ain't here.
how that's going to happen. Like, what can
Mhm,
I do? But you have to be patient with yourself. You
mhm,
have to realize, one step at a time. That person that you're looking at on social media, they had to have a start.
mhm,
They had to have a journey. Somebody gave them a chance. So, just
mhm.
remember
Just
to
relax
Yes, relax and be
and break it
patient.
down. That's my favorite. Like I just break it down, turn it into a checklist, and then once that
Mhm.
checklist is done, the goal is done, and it's a whole big old check, and it goes in a little compartment. Like, Brie, you did that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that one.
Mhm. How do you make it
Definitely.
easier for yourself, or do you have like a, or you just do it? You say I
No.
just get it done.
Well, a little bit of both. I definitely, just have like this hustler ambition where I'm just gonna make it happen.
Mhm.
Because if I don't make it happen, if I don't do it, it ain't gonna get done.
Yes, ma'am.
But I also have to be realistic with myself, and
Mhm.
I also have to
Yep.
write it down and turn that big goal or that big dream,
Mhm.
take it step by step. Well, how can I achieve this? Also, who do I know?
Mhm.
Who can help me achieve this goal if I can't do it by myself? Yeah, I want to make it happen on my own, but
Mhm.
sometimes you need some help. So, I have a great support system. I mean, my sister goes everywhere with me. She is here now. She is at
Mhm.
the vendor events, with me. She stuffs envelopes. She goes to the post office.
Mhm.
I couldn't do it without her.
That's
She
beautiful.
keeps me focused. There's some days where I feel like, ooh, child, I don't think I can do it no more. I don't think,
Mhm.
and I'm just now starting out. I can't be feeling like this already. But she keeps me grounded
Mhm.
and keeps me humble. And, I have all these ideas going through my head. And I'll be like, she's like, okay, that's a great idea. Write that down. So, she
Mhm.
helps me to remember,
Yeah.
we in it for the long game.
Yeah.
We in
Yes,
it to
ma'am.
see, not only create wealth for ourselves, but to create generational wealth. So
Mhm.
our kids, won't have to have some of the same struggles and things that we did growing up.
That's very important. That's a key in itself. Generational wealth.
Yes.
And one thing I do want to say too, like with you having a good support system, a lot of the times people don't necessarily have the best support system when it comes to family. Like I was saying with my cookware, a lot of my products did sell out, and I'm super proud of that. However, I did notice that none of the people that like purchased it, I didn't know any of them. Not to say my support system has to purchase something, but I
Right.
think that says a lot.
That's true. It does because I get orders all the time from people like in New Orleans or Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina,
Mhm.
Kansas,
Mhm.
stuff like that. So and I'm just amazed, and sometimes I
Mhm.
just like I'm shocked because I'm like
It's
it's like
beautiful.
I'm like these people know about my brand
Mhm.
and they support me and they love me.
One cool thing. I'm
Mhm.
happy you mentioned that because when you have people purchase things like that, I always try to ask, how did you find it? How did you find this cookware line? How did you find this podcast? Like, how did you come in just in contact with the brand in itself? Because if they came in contact with it through one hashtag, okay, maybe somebody else will come. Like, I'll make sure I have that hashtag and everything else. Maybe that'll help other people. A
Yes,
lot of other people find it.
definitely. And to kind of tell some backstory, that's how you found me. Through
A
one
hashtag.
hashtag.
Mhm.
So hashtags are also
What was the
very
hashtag? It
important.
was Dallas
It was
lip gloss.
Dallas lip gloss. So
Mhm.
I make sure I use that hashtag when I post stuff to
That's
make
funny.
sure other people.
And then also, speaking of fall, I definitely wanted to add this in. Now, Q4 for the ladies, now is not the time to get too caught up in cuffing season.
Ooh,
Boss lady
yeah.
also told me, she's like, just make sure you're focused. I'm like, okay, sis, get it together. No, but definitely make sure you're focused. Right now is not the time to be worried about any of these little nappy head boys. Focus on your business and your brand, because I know it is cuffing season. It's about to get cold. You want to get cute with babe, but not right now.
No, no. This is like you said earlier. This is a time that a lot of money can be generated in because it is the holiday season. So whatever you sell, whatever products you have, people are looking to buy stocking stuffers. People are looking to buy gifts. So you have to be focused because you don't want to miss that money. Black Friday's coming. You don't want to miss that money because you were messing around doing something you had no business doing, and then you look up and then you be like, oh wow, you know.
Yeah. Have you started planning for Black Friday?
Yes, I have.
Ooh, what
I
do you have cooked
definitely
up?
have.
Can you give us a
I
brief little,
I have
a
a
little something?
sale that I'm working on. My Black Friday sale. I'm definitely going to be doing like a bundle for my lipsticks. I haven't really pinpointed it yet, but it definitely will be some type of bundle
Ooh,
where you can buy multiple lipsticks and maybe even give some away for free. So
ooh,
y'all have to
freebie. You know
stay
we love a
so y'all have
freebie.
to stay tuned for that. So I definitely will be having a Black Friday
Mhm.
sale. I also will be having a makeup giveaway. Somebody can win a free makeover if you're in the DFW area. I have
That's
partnered with
beautiful.
one of my favorite makeup artists, Beauty by Tierica, and her and I are going to be offering a giveaway using my products, and she will be doing a makeover
That's
for someone
beautiful.
special.
So you've been cooking something up for the
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
holidays,
Got a
just
few things cooking.
whipping it. So for me, I am planning a couple of things. Like I said, we're doing the podcast, so that's obviously for the podcast. And then I've been thinking of doing a book club for the political corner and then for the entrepreneur corner. Just a way
Oh,
so you can, network, and
I
also we
like
can have a little
that.
time to, because we love to read. If
Right.
you're an entrepreneur, most likely you probably love to read. Like, hello, you have to.
You have to read.
Unless you just Google a bunch of stuff, then hey, no
Right.
judgment. But I'm thinking about doing a book club. And then also for the cookware line, we're planning some Friendsgiving events. So, I mean, all of the events and the sales and everything, they're tailored to the product and the brand.
Okay.
So that's one tip too. Make sure that every sale you're doing, every giveaway, like you said, every event is tailored to your specific brand. I know some things sound cool, like, ooh, a pop up shop, but would a pop up shop really work for your brand? Would
Right.
people
How are
really?
you going to generate the people? Like, how are
Exactly.
you going to make sure you sell tickets?
Mhm.
How are you going to make sure you keep the people coming in?
Mhm.
How are you going to get the word out that you're having this pop up shop? And
Right.
why would somebody want to come to your pop up shop? You
Right.
have to remember. You have to remember your why in business.
Mhm.
You have to remember why you started it, and most importantly, why does somebody need your product?
Mhm.
Why do they need what you sell? Because when they can go somewhere else and probably get it for cheaper, it may not be the same quality,
Girl, say that again. It may
but
not be the same quality.
just because it's cheaper doesn't mean it's always the best route to
I just
go.
want to say that one more time. It may not be the same quality. I just have to, one more time.
One more time for the one time.
No, but make sure that every move you're making is super intentional.
Yes, and it's
Super
beneficial.
intentional and beneficial. And make sure it's beneficial for both parties. Because, for example, like if I'm hitting up Boss Lady, right, about an idea I have, why would I hit up Boss Lady asking for a freebie and it's not going to benefit her at all? At that point, it's kind of disrespectful. Like think
Definitely.
about the things that you're doing before you do it. Because
Right.
I've gotten situations like that to where it just wasn't for either one, you know? Like it was a guy, he asked to come on the show to do a freestyle. And his music was basically music that none of my listeners listen to. Most of my listeners are like more of the intellectual. So like him coming in doing a freestyle on what he usually talks about, which is the B's and the H's, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It wouldn't make sense for either one of us. So it's
Right.
like, make sure, you know, that
Make
the
sure the platform is right.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
That's the best way to say it. Make sure it's the right platform and it's going to be really for you, for one. Because
Right.
if.
Because this is your company, your baby,
Hmm.
your business, so you want to make sure it benefits you. At the end of the day, you want to make some money.
Hey.
You want to make money and you also want to create brand awareness so that the person that didn't know about your brand 5 minutes
Hmm.
ago, they now know about it because, word of mouth is huge.
Hmm.
Word of mouth is so important. That's how a lot of people know about businesses, know about products, and know about sales and know about what's going on. So you want to make sure, you know, if I do this pop up shop, if I, are people going to come? And once they leave, are they gonna be talking about it? Or
I like that.
not even once they leave though. When they're there and the experience and the ambiance is right in the room, they'll pick up their cell phone, call somebody or text somebody, say, hey, you need to come to this pop up shop. They got some good stuff going on
You
over here,
know,
child.
it's funny. I've actually done that before because the product was so amazing.
See?
So,
That's
yep.
definitely
And I
key.
bet they did that intentionally too, sis.
Right.
I bet they did.
Because it is so important to create an experience for not only you but other people that in your life will want to come to and take part in.
That's important too. That's a good key. I don't think I've thought of that about that one before.
Major key.
Major key. There is one product actually that I did that too because I went to her. It was a birthday thing. It's called Body by Maddie. She has these really really good natural scrubs, and like I had the tea tree. It's a tea tree soap. You've seen me probably post it on my
I have.
Instagram.
I've seen
Yeah.
that.
So my Instagram is Brea Marche. I post because I'm telling you that is first of all it's a good makeup remover and it's natural product and it's vegan as well. And it's a good tea tree, like, and I take my makeup off with it. And then I also have a rose one that I got. And the little ones, like the little butter ones, they're only $1, literally. The big soaps are $5, I think. So it's a really good price point. She creates them herself, black business, you know. It was, listen, I was like, okay, let me get two.
Hmm. Right.
Because this did it. But yeah, I don't know if it's, because I don't really notice when people are super intentional when I'm purchasing it. Because I'm so geeked about the product. It's just great. So just make sure you're really intentional. The audience, they may not notice that you're being intentional, but they'll notice your product, which is what's important.
Right. You definitely want to get as many eyes on your product as possible, and you want people talking about it, so that when they think about whatever your product is, they say, "Oh, I know somebody that sells that, and it's vegan, and it's this, and it's that, and it's better for you, and it's cheaper, and it's a great quality." That's what you want people to talk about.
1,000%. One thing too, we talked about this earlier. So for my Q4, I said that I want to be more intentional with like getting myself together. So I'm not one of those females that just love getting her makeup done and love getting her eyebrows waxed. I do not love getting my hair done at all. Braids are so painful. Like I don't love none of that, right? But I was like, in order to be more intentional with the brand, the business, the podcast, all that, I'm going to have to look the part, right?
Correct.
Lame.
I know that's not what you wanted to hear,
At
but
all. You should have been like, nah, girl, chill. Wear your sweatpants and your
nope.
t-shirt. That's really funny. But so Q4, um, planning promos and the pop-ups and all that is really imperative to. And then Cyber Monday too.
Yes,
You
that's.
doing? Are you participating with our lip glosses
I'm not
in Cyber
sure.
Monday?
I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about that. I know
Hmm.
Black Friday for sure, but I'm still trying to get some things cooking for Cyber Monday.
What
And
makes you
then there's
question Cyber Monday?
well, there's also Small Business Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah. So you have to think, you have 3 days that you're trying to generate,
right.
sales
That's
and
super true.
revenue. So what I what did I not offer to you on Black Friday that you can get Small Business Saturday and then go into Cyber Monday? So you have to
Yes,
plan all
ma'am.
that
I see
out.
what you're saying.
You have to be strategic with it to make sure
Because it
you know
can't be
it's
the
gonna be
same. I like that you
right.
said that because it can't be the same sales.
Right. You have to, what did I not offer before that you now can get the last 2 days
Mhm.
because you want, other people to keep buying.
Mhm. So, are you or have you started planning for like the holidays? Cause can you do Halloween sales with like lipstick?
Well, you can, you would market it as it goes with the Halloween costume. If you're going
Oh.
to, if you need a red lipstick for your
Mhm.
Halloween costume or whatever, that's a way that I could generate sales. I haven't thought
Mhm.
about that though. That's a good idea
I got you,
because thank you
sis.
because I was thinking about Halloween, but then I was like I wasn't for sure. So you know what? That is a great idea.
Look at this. Look at this magic being made. For Halloween, I definitely for the cookware, I'm gonna bring in the kind of like the what is the Day of the Dead? I don't remember how to say it, but the Day of
Oh,
the
I know what you're
Dead, that
talking
kind of
about.
cookware, and like a lot of skulls, a lot of Halloweeny things. So
Mhm.
cooking that up for Halloween. Pretty excited about that. And October's almost here, so stay tuned. It'll be here soon.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, for sure.
It's right around the corner.
What about Thanksgiving? How do you market that?
Well, Thanksgiving, I was going to tie that all in with the Black Friday, the Cyber Monday, the Small
Of
Business
course, yeah.
Saturday. So, as far as marketing, I would run ads.
Mhm.
I would possibly, reach out to influencers and so they can let their followers know, I got this sale going on with this great
Mhm.
product. Um, and then I would also, also don't be afraid to reach out to the customers that you already have and the followers and things that you already
That's
have.
very true.
Reaching out to them, letting them know that
Mhm.
hey, there is a sale going on. Don't be afraid to get in somebody's DM.
I'd
You
be
know,
so afraid to get in people's
people be
DMs.
sliding in people's DMs because they like them. Okay, well I want you to come on into this DM and get this lipstick. I don't want. Okay, come on, purchase,
I'm
get
not
some.
gonna lie, like I'd be super afraid of getting people's like I was terrified of hopping in yours. Cause I hopped in yours.
You did.
But I was super scared.
It's a risk. Sometimes, people going to say yes, some
I
people going
hate
to say
rich
no.
ugh, I
And you
hate
know
that.
what? Even if they didn't purchase the product, or even, sometimes I slide in folks' DMs, they don't even respond.
Mhm.
But you know what? They read the message.
Mhm.
And that's all that matters. At least they read it. They're now aware. They know about it. They may even click on my website link. And I
Mhm.
make it easy for myself because Instagram does allow you to do quick replies and Facebook does too. So I already have like a generated response when somebody new follows my page. I send them a message and let them know, hey, I'm Diamond Cosmetics. This is what I sell. So this is what my products can do for you. This is how they benefit you.
Mhm.
Check out my website and also here's a discount code.
Ooh, you
So
fancy.
well, I try. I try to be fancy. I try to, generate some money and
Mhm.
you know, for right now, it's working. I don't always get a sale,
Are you
but
as good with like in-person marketing as you are? Because it seems like you're really good online. I'm better in person.
well, it's I am, not to toot my own
Oh,
horn. Excuse me, ma'am.
two.
um, Online does work well for me. The in-person marketing I'm still working on,
Mhm.
but it's been working.
That's good.
It's been working. I've been doing quite well with it.
Mhm.
So,
So I had a lot of retail experience because when I was 16, I had started working at like Foot Locker, and then from there I started working at different retail jobs. But and then I started being a brand ambassador. So I started being a brand ambassador for different brands, like a bunch of car dealerships, or not dealerships, but car companies like Chevy, Honda, like etc. And then also like Mike's Hard Lemonade, um, Lyft, Uber, like just random companies, being a brand ambassador for them. So I got super, super comfortable with trying to sell a brand, but as like the cool, hey girl type of vibe, not the, oh, I'm a salesman knocking at your door,
right.
please buy my computers. I don't know, I just made that up. But so I got really good at that. So I feel like I've gotten the hang of selling in person, selling a brand, you know? So that I think that helped me a lot. Thank
Mhm.
God, because it really is important. Just like online is super important, in
Mhm.
person. these in-person events, whether you're meeting people, always have your business cards. Do you use
Right.
business cards?
I do actually have like a flyer that I
Mhm.
use that it showcases swatches of all of my products,
Mhm.
and
That's
and then
cute.
it showcases a model wearing my lipstick
Mhm.
as well, so that you can see what it looks like, and it also has a link to my website so that you won't forget. You know that
Mhm.
you may have want the blue lipstick, but you look on the flyer. Oh, she has red as well. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
So it just helps you kind of to remember.
I like that. See, I'm kind of in the deciding phase right now because I have business cards. But because I do multiple things right now, and probably will continue to do multiple things, of course. I don't know what to put on my business card, or if I should have multiple and then just give it depending on who I'm talking to, or just have one with like everything on there. I don't know what to do right now with
I've
that.
seen it done both ways. I've seen it done where they have their multiple businesses, and they kind of create like a lifestyle brand. So it just all depends on how you market it.
Oh.
You could market it and generate it as this is a lifestyle brand. Hi, I'm Bria, and this is my brand, and this is what I do. To let people know, hey, I not only do X, Y, Z, but I do this too. Like on Saturday at the vendor showcase, I met somebody that was a singer, a photographer, a videographer,
Oh wow.
and he made jewelry.
Okay.
So, and that's the way he markets
Mhm.
himself. And I was like, okay, so
Like I do
so you're a
everything.
serial entrepreneur. You just do it all.
Mhm.
So, but I was like, that's a good idea. That's a good, he's marketing a
Mhm.
lifestyle to let people know, hey, you need a photographer, I got you. You need a
Mhm.
videographer, I got you. You need jewelry, I got you. So,
Mhm.
and that also,
But does that ever look? Because my fear and why I didn't put, and really why I've been at a standstill, because it's been like some months since I ran out of old business cards. But my fear was that it would look tacky, or it would look like I was all over the place.
mm-mm,
No.
mm-mm. No,
Mm-mm.
I personally don't think so. I mean, if it's done correctly, if it's done in a
Mhm.
professional manner, it won't look that way. It will
Mm.
look like, wow, you do it all. I mean, that's at least how I look at it. You
Okay.
know, um, it will look like, wow, you are really somebody that is dependable, reliable, somebody that,
Mm.
is a go getter and can accomplish their goals and do what they have set forward to do.
Okay. I like that.
I try.
I may have to put that on my little goal sheet.
Yeah.
For real, for real. But yes. Also, I have a note for website speed for these Black Friday spells.
Oh, okay.
I was looking online and I was like, where's a checklist so we can check and see, how to prepare. And when I tell you, I'm gonna pause that one. Go online. You know those people. If you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure you see this just as I do. Those people that put, oh, join my class, take one free class, and then if you like it, go ahead and do my master class and pay
Oh,
$300.
the courses.
The
Yes.
courses.
Uh-huh.
If you ever see those courses online and they're doing free, take that free course because although a lot of it is tailored in order to get you to purchase whatever they're trying to sell you, first of all, you may actually enjoy them and want to do the class. It's never a bad thing to learn more, first of all. Second of all, those free classes be having all kinds of gems, okay? I I took a class earlier today at work. At work. I took a class earlier today and it basically was telling me how to do what was it? I actually typed it up. It was the ad send and then like to help with the PR budget, the contest, the giveaways, all of that. Everything pretty much the affiliate codes, influencer discounts, like how to like set all of that up specifically for Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. So although I probably won't take every single piece of advice from that one person, but trust and believe I am going to like probably do about 3 or 4 more free classes, learn everything I can from those classes. If I want to take an actual master class, I'll do that, but I'm going to learn everything that I can, add that to my knowledge that I already have, and then kill Black Friday, you know?
Mhm. I think I think that's a good idea. There's a lot of master classes and courses out there, but you also have to do your research because
Mhm.
a lot of people are just, a lot of people say they are a master of some sort, and they say, but they just trying to get your money
One
because
thing,
I see them ads all the time on Facebook.
one girl, she actually got. I'm happy. She got called out because she didn't sell like the amount of sales she was saying she made. It was like on one picture because it was like, you know how you swipe on the Instagram, it's like a ton of pictures or
Hmm.
whatever. One of the pictures was her in front of a Ferrari, and then the other picture was her, and it was like with her Shopify website, and then it also said like how much money she made next to her business name.
Hmm.
Somebody called her out in the comments, and they were like, "This isn't your like Shopify account. This is
Oh.
somebody else's Shopify account. You just put your name on top of theirs." And then on their Instagram story, yes, I had time to look at all of that. It
You was
like I
investigating.
did because I was like looking at her class, and I wanted to like see what she was talking about. And so like in my investigation,
Hmm.
I found the actual person's picture, and it was actually their
Mm.
picture from what they made.
Mm.
And who's to say where they got that picture from?
Right, you have to
Mhm.
verify, if these people are actually doing what they doing. We
Mhm.
live in a day and age where social media is so popular and people are just trying to generate revenue from social media.
Mhm.
They're not really in it to help somebody grow a business. And,
Mhm.
so you just really have to be careful. And, you have to also listen to other entrepreneurs that have been doing this, you know, for some time, follow other entrepreneurs that
Mhm.
you want to be like, that you want to look up to. But don't follow too many because you start getting too much advice. Then you start to
And it's like,
doubt and wonder, and
yeah.
then you're like, I don't really know if I'm doing this right, or,
Mhm.
you start to get overwhelmed. So you
Mhm.
have to like take things slow,
But it
just
is always good to have like not to say an idol, but to see, oh, there's this other black woman doing this and that and the third. I can do this
right.
too.
I can do it too. I
Mhm.
can, and yes, definitely. I definitely have a few of those on my list that I look up to, and I was like, wow, if they did it, I can do it.
That's super true. I like that one. I know one of the people I do is Tana. She has her whole station. She's a black woman. Like, that's beautiful. And then
Mhm.
there's a ton of people on this radio show. It's another place in California. Like, ma'am, give me some of your juice.
Right.
Give me some.
Right. And then I have had, since I started this business last year, I've had so many people come up to me and just ask me questions. So, another thing is don't be afraid to give advice.
Mhm.
Because you never know how somebody can help you and how you're helping someone else. So,
Mhm.
always be willing to help others,
Right.
sit down with somebody. One time we met at Starbucks,
Mhm.
and after you left, I actually met a young lady. She's like, I heard you talking to her about business. Can you help me with mine?
Really?
Hmm.
That's cool.
So I was able to help her and sit down and talk to her and figure out, what she's doing wrong, what she's doing right. I don't claim to know everything, but I know what works for me. So I always
Mhm.
try to help somebody.
That's
You never
beautiful.
know.
I do know hindsight. I've seen people say, what is it called? Can I pick your brain?
Mhm.
Is that how you say it?
Mhm.
I've seen actually saw someone post it online today. It was this she's Doctor Business. I forget her handle, but she's also in the Forbes under 30, and she posted something saying basically she went to school for this, and she spent a lot of her days learning this information. So like when people pretend to be her friend, not in that situation
Mhm.
obviously, but like
Mhm.
and when people like actually pretend to be her friend, not like just randomly at a coffee shop, but like I'm hitting you up like, "Hey girl, I miss you so much. Let's hang out." And then the entire time I'm on Snapchat like, "Ooh, I'm with her,"
Right.
and then the entire time I'm screenshotting our messages. Oh, like, "Ooh, what she say to me? Look what she said, guys."
Mhm.
Or the entire time we're together, "Oh, so what do you think I should do about this, that, and the third?" Without there being an actual friendship, she was like, "That is so ugly," basically.
Right.
You know? I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, I bet a couple people mad at me." No, I'm just kidding. No, but I can see where that would be an issue as well, especially if you're not asking first. You know, because to ask
Right.
first is more important.
You have to ask, can you help me? Can
Mhm.
I pick your brain? You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Instead of, trying to secretly get that
Mhm.
information.
Mhm. That's a horrible attempt at leveling up on somebody else's time and dime.
Right.
But hey, hey, who am I to judge? So this end of the week, do you have an end of the week goal? When I say break it down, like I literally do weekly goals.
I do too. I definitely say not necessarily sometimes weekly goals, but it
Mhm.
may be daily goals.
Ooh.
Each day I want to try to sell this amount of products, or by
Mhm.
the end of this week I want to sell, this much product, or I want to gain this many, new followers, or I want to run an
Mhm.
ad, or I want to tell
Where do you
somebody about.
run most of your ads? Can you give us a couple tips on those? Because I
Well,
definitely need some.
you know that there's tons of other like Instagram pages that you can run ads on.
Hmm?
You can run ads on other people's Instagram pages. You didn't know that?
Like influencers?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Like other, like, I know everybody has heard of the Shade Room.
Mhm.
So you can run an ad with the Shade Room,
Oh, right, right, right.
or you
Mhm.
can run an ad like with another gossip site similar to the Shade Room, or you can run an ad with like someone. Like I recently ran an ad with Startup Black Business on Instagram,
Mhm.
and it generated me over 90 followers.
It's beautiful.
Just based off that one ad.
Mhm.
So there's tons of other sites that will allow you to advertise your product or your business on their pages, and they sometimes they don't even charge that much.
Really?
Yeah,
What's like the starting to
I've
highest?
seen it as low as $17, and I've seen it as high as probably 500.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
hmm
That's fair.
Sometimes they'll charge you for a permanent post, or they'll
Mhm.
charge you for just to run the post for a couple of hours. Like from 1 to 12 hours is probably
And then
like,
they'll delete it.
and then they'll delete it. Yeah.
Does that help?
Or um,
Have you ever done one of those?
I haven't tried that one yet. But sometimes on permanent posts, when you're doing those ads, you want to be careful because sometimes, if that Instagram page posts frequently, your ad becomes diluted. So that means that less and
Mm.
less people will begin to see it unless they
Mhm.
just happen to be scrolling all the way down. But
I
another,
see what you
I
mean.
guess, a way to help with that is make sure your ad is eye catching.
Mhm.
So if they just happen to be scrolling down that page, they're like, "Ooh, what's that?"
Mhm.
And they want to inquire more and learn more as well.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I like that. What about email prepping? I've started using MailChimp for the cookware line, and it has been helping me a ton.
See, now that's one thing that I have got to get into
Mhm.
is doing the email campaigns.
Mhm.
I have them generated, but I just have to physically do it.
Mhm.
I know it does work and it helps for tons of businesses and people,
Mhm.
because believe it or not, in 2019, people do still check their email.
Mhm.
So, I think a lot of people thought that that was played out. They don't check their
It's
emails
definitely
or
not.
anything like that.
Mhm.
But I will definitely keep that in mind as a great tip to,
Mhm.
use different platforms and also use, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like text messaging. You can text
Mm.
prior customers and let them know like you have a sale going on. I get those all the time. Fashion Nova texts me probably every day and let me know what they got going on.
Mhm.
So that's also a great marketing tool.
Ooh, that's a good key. I've never used it texting, but I don't know if I would use texting for cookware. I could use texting for the
People
podcast.
people use it for hair. Yes,
Really?
that's how I know about hair sales. That I get, that they're having sales on bundles, or they're having like a. That's
Mhm.
how I know about the Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday sales,
Mhm.
Labor Day sales. They text me.
That's beautiful. I know with MailChimp, so the way that I do it is so I take a little time out of my day job, and for like that, say I do it on a Monday or if I choose to do it on a Sunday, then I'll like do all of the ads that I want to do for probably the next 2 weeks,
hmm
and then I'll schedule them to when they're going to be sent out.
Okay.
But I'll make sure that I know which campaigns are going on which day, and then I'll do the same exact thing on Facebook and Instagram to make sure that it's all kind of like in sync
hmm
for that next week, and then it'll just boom in, and that helps me a lot too.
And then make sure and um, you monitor, which um, email campaigns are generating sales or biz or
You know,
business.
a really cool thing that Mailchimp does is they show you how much money generated from that specific ad or that I'm sorry, that
hmm
specific email. So like if I send one email out and it generated like say 30 sales. And then I sent another one that came out and it only did like 2. I'm like, okay, what did I do in this email to get 30 versus doing in this email to only get 2? So that
Well,
helps
you
a whole lot.
that does help, but you have to look at too the time frame you sent that out. Was it the
Mhm.
first of the month? Were
Mm.
people's bills due? Was
Mhm.
rent due?
That's true.
You have to think about stuff like that. You have to be strategic, when you do your email campaigns, because people will be like, so many times I've heard, well, girl, I got bills due, or it's the first of the month, or I got you after rent, or I got you after I cover these bills. So
Mhm.
you also want to be strategic too. When do people get paid?
That's
you
true.
know you have to
Mhm.
think about stuff like that, so
Yeah.
because people have to remember, I got bills too, so I need you to purchase my product.
Yeah.
You have to keep in mind of that, and the consumer also has to keep in mind that, as well too, that we all out here trying to make it, we all out here trying to get
Mhm.
it, so definitely.
Hmm. I've thought of that in cuz I know one of the ways starting in fall that we're going to do the cookware is at like different like farmers markets and things like that. So like
That's a
with the
good idea.
silverware. Um, so one thing that we thought was really important, like, okay, we're not gonna do it at the very end of the month because obviously everybody spent their money on rent, like
Mhm.
you said, and so we're gonna focus on certain weekends, certain climates, like if it's whether it's a farmers market, like Dallas farmers market, like where people come with like a lot more money. They want to spend money versus if you want to go to like a flea market, for example, where you would want to take lower end products, but they're still gonna like you just got to sell a lot more of those versus selling only like to make a better profit to versus selling really expensive and you only got to sell like a couple.
Mhm.
You know what I'm trying to
Right.
say?
Right. Mhm.
So I think that's a good point to make too. Be very aware of the clients that are gonna be there and the time frame, like you said.
Right. And to speak on clients that's going to be there, I cannot express enough how important it is to know your target audience.
Mhm.
Know who you want to sell to. Just
Mhm.
don't start selling stuff to
Mm-mm.
anybody and everybody, because you want repeat customers. You
Mhm.
want to make sure you're getting your product out to people that will buy and that will tell their friends. You want to
Mhm.
make sure you get your product in the right hands. Who do I want to sell it to? You have to be aware of that. Just because somebody bought it one day, you want them to come back and buy it again the next,
Mhm.
and after that, and after that. So knowing your target audience will not only help you to keep sales, it will also help you to generate sales and make the sales consistent as all. And that's a key factor when you're running ads. You have to know that you're marketing to the right people, because you want the right people to see your ads.
Right.
Just because 10 million people saw your ad on Facebook, well, okay, does that reach your target audience? That could have been 10 million men. I
Mhm.
sell lipstick. You know what I'm saying? Now, some men may buy it for their wives or whatever, but that doesn't really help,
Mhm.
who I'm trying to market it to.
Mhm. I'm happy you did touch on that too,
Mm,
cause I didn't think about that very
yes.
much.
You
Hmm.
definitely you can Facebook uses this thing called ad manager, and it allows you to play around with it, to you kind of decide who you want to market to.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
like,
Mhm.
how old do you want your consumer to be? When will they make a purchase? What do they do? How much money they make,
Mhm.
their general income, things like that. So that'll help you really see, and what things they're into, and also who do they listen to? Who influences them? So you say, okay, they like this person, so I can possibly reach out to that person to also influence my brand.
Mm. That's the key. So yeah, to reach out to the person that they look up to and like get them like that, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Strategy,
Strategy,
strategy.
strategy,
But we
strategy.
are coming to a close of another entrepreneur show with Grown Folks Talking. So thank you so much for tuning in. My Instagram is Brea Marche. That's BreaMarshae. You can always follow and also follow Grown Folks Talking podcast. Comment. Let us know how you felt about the video. Add any tips that you want to add. And then Diamond, you want to give a shout out to Diamond Cosmetics.
Yes, I am Diamond, as she stated, and you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Diamond Cosmetics, and that's Dyamond Cosmetics. And you can also purchase my lipsticks and lip glosses on diamondcosmetics.com. And again, that's Diamond, Dyamond.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. See y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.